Here we are, humble beginnings, great expectations. We're here at iSmash Tampa in the middle of Brandon. Here to talk to the business owners about the secrets of their success. Come follow me and don't forget to subscribe.
Be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Be humble. Sit down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations. I'm Jeremy Johnson. I'll be your host. I'm the owner of 7J Finance, Commercial and Consulting, and this is a real estate story. We are here today with Mr. David Segui. He is the owner of iSmash Tampa and one of the architects of this new niche industry that we've seen in Tampa that just is blowing up all over. You'll see it all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. And we're going to get into the mindset of him and talk about how, you know, he's inspired to open up this business and get it going. So, David, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Absolutely, man. It's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to see you. And, you know, I want to get right into it in terms of the show. It's called Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations. So we want to talk about what inspired you to get into this industry, not much less start a business in and of itself.
Wow, that's we can be here all day for like 6 hours talking about it. But basically, 2021, retired from the insurance industry, you know, got tired of it, just rat race. And like most best friends, my friend and I wanted to open a business together. For years, we'd been talking about it. We had a poor experience at another rage room in Tampa.
That's Bobby. Bobby is the other owner of iSmash. He's the other half of the team here, and you know we would love to see him here, but you know we see him chiming in here.
Yeah, and on the TV. So anyway, so we have we'd always wanted to open a business together, and we had a poor experience at another rage room. So we were like, you know what, we can do this. We were tired of the insurance business. We found the iSmash franchise located in Rochester, New York. Immediately fell in love with. From the time we found the franchise to the time we signed the paperwork was probably 3 weeks. We knew immediately. It was one of those things that were just meant to be. Right. And we loved it so much that we're going to open up 6 more locations.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We'll get into that in a little bit. Now, when you're starting to open up a business, and anyone that's gone to the school, they talk about you doing your SWOT analysis. You know, you analyze your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the industry to get into your business. And, you know, we want to talk about, you know, what were some of the challenges that you saw coming into getting into this business, and how did you overcome them?
Oh, man. Okay. That'll be another 3 days worth of answers from me. We didn't see any challenges before we signed the paperwork. It was during the construction process that we found there were some challenges with general contractors, architects, and permitting. So that was probably the biggest challenge, was the construction phase of the build out. Had we known then what we know now, we would have financed through the SBA. There's so many mistakes. As the first franchisees, we were the first franchisees. So with your first anything, there are learning curves. So construction process, the financing process. My partner and I had no retail experience.
Right.
So it was, that in itself was kind of crazy to go from the insurance world to retail. I'm 50 years old. I'm not built for retail anymore. I've learned that hard lesson. My back is mad at me almost every day, but you know what? It's worth it. We were profitable month 1. We were in the black.
That's unheard of.
So we knew right away. It was through proper planning. We must have went through our business plan 50, 60 times. Bootstrapped it at the beginning. So planning is important. So we owe a lot of our success to the business plan and then taking on the right partners. I don't believe in any one man doing anything alone, honestly. From when I had my insurance agency, I was successful because of the people I had around me, and through my networking partners like you. So we've brought on a lot of people to help us with the expansion, with a lot of franchise knowledge. So don't be afraid to ask questions. We ask for help because we don't know everything.
Man, that's crazy, because that leads right into my next question. And there's a lot of people out there that are, 9-to-5 workers. They're loyal to their job. They love what they do. They went to college and, educated themselves, trained themselves for what their skill set is, but maybe not be their passion. You can get into that rat race of just that 9-to-5 and be scared of, making that leap of, following your dream, following your passion. So, what advice would you give to those people that are maybe have a dream, that maybe don't, they're scared to take that leap? What financial advice would you give them about, first of all, if they did step into that realm, how would you manage your finances in the beginning stages of following that dream?
So we'll have to go back to my first business, Focus Insurance Group, which you're familiar with. I started an insurance agency in 2007 with $12,000, which is unheard of. You shouldn't be able to do it. However, through the business plan, I'm big on business plans. I spoke about it a minute ago. Business planning is important. So through doing my business plan 100 times, tweaking it every which way, I knew that if I hustled, $12,000 was going to get me through, and I could bootstrap it and do what I needed to do. It took a couple of years, but through proper planning, I was able to overcome every obstacle that was thrown my way. So I would say number one is plan.
Okay.
Don't just come up with an idea, put it on paper. There are many programs out there, many resources locally to help you with your business plan. I have people in the community as a member of our Chamber of Commerce asking me questions, and I love giving advice. I love helping younger, newer business owners, mainly because I didn't have a lot of help when I was, starting out. Right. So there are a ton of resources locally. There are a ton of people like you and I in the community who just love giving back. So I would say business planning is number one, networking number two. You cannot sit behind a desk and expect things to happen for you. You've got to get out in the community. One of the reasons why I've been successful is I've been able to network with you and so many people out in the community. It's a collaborative effort. Success is not a one-person story. We can all be successful if we help each other out.
Man, that's such good stuff right there. I love that.
You're the reason.
That's an
and I'm
excellent
not blowing
answer, too.
smoke. I'm not blowing smoke. You're one of the reasons I was able to retire in 2021 because of the relationships I built with you, other realtors, mortgage brokers, and the referrals I received, and then reciprocating. I was able to just grow my insurance agency exponentially because of those relationships and retire. So thank you.
And I'll piggyback on that, in that, our synergy that we created when we were, helping our mutual clients, it benefited me in that client felt safe and insulated, knowing that I was, in tune with another business owner for another facet of business that they needed to, secure their home. And it created new business for me because they became repeat customers.
Right.
And
It's huge.
And that's a gem for you. So thank you for that. So you started the business and planning, getting with the right people. And obviously you had a vision for that business. Is that vision the same now? And or has it changed? And or how do you keep perpetuating that vision for the business every day?
It's evolved. I don't know how many times. Bob and I did not plan to open up 6 more stores. We thought this was it. We'd make the money we want to make and we'd be happy little beavers. And no, we saw the big picture. We'd like to retire in another 5 years. And the only way we can do that is by riding this explosion. We believe that the rage room industry, especially here in Florida, is going to take off even more than it already has. So we figured let's just dive right in and open up 6 more, and possibly more than that. I'd love to own the entire Southeast region if I can. So it's changed 100 times, and you've got to roll with the punches, and everything evolves. So yeah, it's from 1 store to 6, from one little area to an entire state. yeah, everything has changed in less than 2 years.
Did you know that there were that many angry people here in Florida?
I did not, and it's usually women. About 65% of our clientele is women.
Wow. That's
yeah,
amazing stat
well,
right there.
That goes to show you that, we cause them a lot of stress. So 65% women. I did not know, but we are experiencing still tremendous population growth
Yes.
in Florida.
True, very true.
So the writing was on the wall very early.
Absolutely.
So we knew 3 months in actually that we needed to open up 6 more. So from the time we opened this store till the end of that year, 3 short months, we knew we needed more.
Absolutely.
And we knew there would be demand.
What a great sign, knowing that you're a first-time business owner in a very new niche industry, not knowing whether or not it's going to work, and then immediately you see it click with the community, and that's amazing. And kudos to you for having the foresight to be able to see that.
Thank you.
Now, this is a real estate story, and when we found this building for you guys, it was an empty shell. There was nothing there. But the thing I love about real estate is the fact that it touches everybody. Everybody can have a conversation about real estate, and everyone can become an entrepreneur through real estate. So it's a very connective type industry. And what I like about the commercial side of things is that you can take a blank space, and through your ingenuity, your imagination, you can create and curate emotions and feelings in that space, before, where it was just completely an empty shell. So looking at this space now compared to what it was before, it invokes so much emotion and like good feels. Like, did you think about, how did you create the vibe of Ice Mash and what it is now today from when we first began?
When you say empty shell, I mean, there weren't even studs in the wall. There was no plumbing. There wasn't barely any sprinklers.
Right.
For those old people who might be watching, this was a Hallmark store, a 5,200 square foot Hallmark store back in the day that COVID messed up. It was going to be converted to a nail salon. So they had gutted the entire place, and then COVID hit. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, they couldn't finish construction, so there was nothing here. It was an empty shell. So it was a lot of work, but we got the store constructed in about 8 months. From the time we got the GC under contract and we got the plans, about 8 months to construct everything from scratch. As far as what you see here today, a lot of it is from Ice Mash corporate. They had a lot of influence. We put our little touches here and there with our local sports teams. We have banners and stuff from our local partners. Everyone up here, if you took a peek around the walls, are all our partners, whether it's our windshield suppliers, whether it's 7J Commercial. When you look at that, sponsoring one of our axe lanes. These are all people that we've done business with. So we got our little flair here and there on the walls and what have you. But a lot of this was influenced by Ice Mash corporate, all their designs, which is one of the reasons why I love a franchise. Is I don't have to do a lot of thinking. I've got money problems to worry about. I've got staffing, I got this. So it's great to have a franchise with an excellent vision, with graphic designers that I don't have to invent the wheel. So a lot of this flair was from corporate. So I can't take credit as much as I would like. Although you do see our walls decorated with paintings done by a lot of local children.
Yes.
And we support a lot of local organizations, a lot of local charities. So some of the paintings were done by some kids battling pediatric cancer. So we hold a pediatric cancer benefit every year.
I love that.
So we have a lot of their paintings on the wall. We do a lot of stuff in the community, so you'll see a lot of stuff from the community on our walls and decorating our halls.
You build it and they will come. It's what it sounds like. The community just really just comes in and embraces the place and really puts their touch on it. And
it does. And if we backtrack a minute to what it takes to be successful, givers gain. You're familiar with those two words.
Yes, sir.
I believe, and everyone who works with us believes, that if you give to the community, not only does it make you feel good, I feel great about what we do and how we impact the community and the love that we have, and helping others. But it does ingratiate you to the community, and by supporting them, they want to support you. It is just good business sense, and it's something that a lot of people don't see. So, we'll give out gift cards to every organization locally, every school, every charity who's doing a benefit. Why not? We've been blessed. We believe in helping others, and then what does that do? People, when they think of entertainment, something they want to do on the weekend, they're going to think of iSmash. So it's a two-way street, and I wish more local businesses understood that.
Absolutely. The community will take ownership of your business and will give it back twofold.
Oh yeah.
2, 3, 4 times
Yeah.
fold of what you give them. So that's an amazing answer. Thank you very much for that. When you first start, I think we're entering year 2 of iSmash, and when you first start, you don't know what a typical business day is going to look like. But you get in the motion of things, and you find out what best practices are. How important is that, and how long did it take for you guys to figure out this is what our day needs to look like?
We're still figuring it out. Okay, we're a year and a half into this, but that's what every business owner should do every day. Every day should be focused on not only how do I take care of the customer immediately, but how do I improve these efficiencies? How do I do things to make our lives easier and to make us more profitable? So every day we're implementing new ideas. So it is not something that ends. So every day we're looking at, okay, how can we improve this? How can we improve that? How can we improve the customer experience? I'll give you an example. Simplest thing we did and had the biggest impact is we have a Zappy card for reviews at our front desk. Our reviews went from a few a month to 100 a month because everyone is leaving here happy. All we do is, hey, would you mind leaving us a review? It takes 3 seconds worth of effort, but has a huge impact
That's
on
genius.
our business.
That's
But
some great
there's
idea.
so many little things that you can do to improve your business. You just need to have the desire to look for these things to want to improve your business.
Absolutely. Especially in this social media era right now, reviews are almost the lifeblood of a business these days. And, people are going to go there first to determine whether or not they're going to go. What a great idea. Do you use any special tools or processes or people, or is it just trial and error to manage your time effectively?
I wish that's probably my biggest obstacle personally is managing my time. As when you own a business, you can't just turn it off. So, and sometimes I wish I could at night when I'm sitting at home, just turn off the business mindset and just be, but I can't, and I don't know that I want to. I'm always looking for ways to improve what we have here because it impacts so many. So I can't turn it off, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, you got to keep going. I mean, it's your dream.
It is. Well, it's my dream to retire at 55. I don't know that it was my dream to work in retail.
Right.
But I love entertainment. So I don't know if it comes through here, but I like to have a good time, like to crack jokes. And I think this type of business suits my personality better than insurance did. Everyone's leaving here having a good time. You are providing not only entertainment, when you think about, we have people dealing with grief.
Yes.
So you have clients, once a week I've got a client who lost a family member. I had a gentleman lost a son. He came in here dressed as his son's favorite Star Wars character.
Wow.
And his family had a smash session. So we do a lot of that. We actually have counselors, therapists, they'll bring a patient in, counsel them in our private room, our event room, for 20 minutes. And then they'll go have a rage session, get out that anger, and then go back and discuss how they're handling their stress.
Amazing.
So we're doing some of these things now. So it's not just about, hey, let's break stuff. No, you're dealing with various situations, personal situations. And we try to tailor each experience to what people are going through. We put pictures of ex-boyfriends on the smash wall. It's a lot of ex-boyfriends,
That's genius.
ex-husbands,
Yes.
on glassware, and we let people just go Incredible Hulk.
Ex-girlfriends too. Anyone
Yes.
can get it. Don't get them to get it messed up, okay?
It's you. I mean, I'll put a picture of anybody, but it's usually us, Jeremy. I'm just saying. We had a divorce party.
Okay.
I had 30 females in here the other day. You know, put its face on the Axel Lanes. Whatever gets their frustration out. I'd rather have someone come in here and break something than deal with their stress at home, be depressed, break stuff at home. Do it here, let it out, and let us clean it up.
Let them clean it up. Then no better place than that. Coming to the shop in the very beginning, I saw a lot of familiar faces. It was comforting to see. How important is team when developing your business?
100%. I couldn't do anything without a great team.
Yeah.
And anything I've ever accomplished in my business career, it's all been about the people. There's no I in team, so it's all about the team. So Bob is great. He runs the front end experience. He takes care of the customers. They always leave happy. I've brought on Scott Laviano, who you know.
Yep.
He's great with the operations. So we all complement each other. There's no way I could have done this on my own. Zero chance. I know some people are like, oh yeah, I could have. No,
Not
nope,
a chance.
Zero chance. No. And I'm humble enough to admit it. I cannot do this on my own. It takes everyone. It took you. And when you think about you as our agent, our GC Charles, all the handymen involved. I mean, it was collaborative. Our insurance agents, our AC guy, Jason. I mean, it took everyone coming together. And those are those familiar faces. The faces when I had Focus Insurance.
Yep.
When we were doing stuff back in the day.
Yep.
They're still with me. I've nurtured these relationships over the past 12 years, and they're still with me, and they'll be with me until I stop working and I retire in Costa Rica.
That being said, now those people, what qualities do you look for when you're looking to build a team?
Honestly, I've got to be honest. I prefer someone to tell me bad stuff immediately. I don't like to let it fester. Give me the bad information. So when they ask you, hey, do you want the good news or the bad news first? No, give me the bad news.
Always bad news
Yes,
first.
100%.
Always bad news first.
I prefer it.
Yeah.
How can I fix anything that's wrong without the bad news first? So tell me. So honesty is number one. And I need people who are going to do what they say they're going to do. And I would rather someone tell me they can't do something than lie to me and, waste my time.
Absolutely.
So honesty is number one.
How do you, as one of the leaders of the business, how do you keep the focus and the vision and the mission of the business aligned with your team on a daily basis to make sure that everything is consistent?
We hire mostly at-risk teens or high school students. I was an at-risk youth myself, so I think it's important to teach these young men work ethic, how to get along in the world. So I give them buy-in. So I'm not just hiring them to do a job. I'm trying to mentor these young men. I'm trying to teach them what it is to be honest, to work hard, and then you incentivize. We tip people out end of the week. We bonuses. I mean, there's so much that we do for our team, and then we ask them, hey, what can we do to make your job easier? Maybe there's something that they're thinking of that you haven't. I don't know everything.
Right.
I wish I did, but I don't. I'm man enough to admit it. And just because they're 17 years old doesn't mean that they don't have some input. And just by asking them that question, what do you think? That goes a long way. That makes them loyal to you and to your business and to wanting to do their best job for you.
Empower your people.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
I love that. Yeah. So you think, does that create more buy-in for your employees to take ownership of?
Our turnover is super low.
Wow.
In 2 years, we might have lost 2 employees. It's super low. And it's, for me personally, anything I've done, my turnover has always been low because I've adopted that policy early on.
Absolutely.
So it's all about getting them to love your business as much as you do and to make them feel like your business is their business. So I think that's one thing I've done very well over the past 15 years.
Absolutely. That's genius. So, when you talk about community, and you already mentioned how important community is in your business. When we first started finding this location, I don't believe it was as busy in terms of the tenants that were in here. How important are your tenants and your anchor tenants, such as your Publix, to the success of your retail business?
I don't know if I'm going to give you the answer you might want, Jeremy. It can, depending on your business, it can be important. For us, and we've learned this just a few months after we've opened, we had the opportunity, and you showed us some places throughout this town that we loved to just, we didn't think would work at the time. For instance, there was a space that was less traveled, was a recessed shopping center in a very busy area on a busy roadway. We didn't know at the time that iSmash would have been a destination. So because of who we are and what we do, we could have driven business to a less traveled shopping center. So that's one thing we learned while being here. It does help. We do get some people walking by. Dollar Tree, is an anchor. We have LA Fitness to our left, and we have a lot of large retailers here. It does help. It does drive business. If you, depending on your business, and you need to think about in the planning. We didn't think that this would be a destination.
Right.
We were wrong.
Yeah.
We have people coming an hour and a half.
That's crazy.
So they bypassed another rage room that is now not in business anymore because of who we are, because of our, not just our networking, but because of our reviews, because of how we do business. We might be the cleanest rage room you'll ever experience.
Wow.
So we have people coming from all over the place. So we didn't know that we could drive business to a shopping center. And that leads to what you said. Now, this place it's January, it's a Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in here already.
Already. A lot of traffic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you should have been here a week or two before Christmas. Oh, you weren't. There was a 10-minute wait to get out of the parking lot.
That's insane.
Insane.
So that being said, what marketing strategies have you used that have been most effective?
A little bit of everything. Our social media presence is...
It's pretty strong.
Yeah. And that's mostly in part to the franchise. They do a lot of that stuff. Okay. Google Ads have been great. Right. TikTok, we started doing some streaming services. So you'll see us on Hulu, ESPN. So we started doing a streaming service campaign. And then probably in my opinion, our most important and profitable marketing, initiative would be networking. And we're members of 2 chambers. I'm on the board of a local chamber. We sponsor a lot of organizations. We have our benefits here. We're doing a lot of stuff in the community. So that has led to a lot of business.
And word of mouth. It can't be word of mouth.
It's huge. Word of mouth has been huge, and we've been able to start tracking those statistics. So it's been huge.
That's excellent, man. How did you determine your target market or audience when you first started to? And I got some reviews I'm going to read for you. To now.
Geez, here we go.
How did you guys have in your head what your target audience was going to be? Were you targeting the teens or?
No. Here's why. iSmash is such that you can do 1, 2, or 3 experiences, activities, as far as the franchise is concerned. We knew that we don't want to leave anything on the table. So if we had the opportunity to do all 3 activities, we were going to jump on it. So we have the axe throwing, which is computerized, a lot of fun for ages 13 and up. We have the rage room, which is 8 and up. And then we have a splatter paint room, which is 3 and up. We didn't want to exclude anyone.
Right.
So with all 3 activities, we knew there was something for everyone. So we really didn't say, oh, this is the target demographic. We want to target everyone. There's not one person, unless you're under the age of 3, who can't come in here and have fun and do an experience. So I've had 80-year-olds in here throwing axes, and I've had 3-year-olds in here throwing paint on their parents, and I've had a room full of 8-year-olds breaking stuff in our rage room. That's scary, but it's I have that happen almost every weekend. Yeah.
Listen, let me read some stuff to you.
Uh-oh.
Our group of 3 included 2 70-plus-year-olds and a tween. We all had a great time smashing things. Everything about our Ice Smash experience was positive in making the reservation, including making the reservations. The staff is very helpful and friendly and took the time to make sure our gear fit and we had a safe experience. Our granddaughter was impressed. There was a Bluetooth speaker in the Smash room so we could play music and we could break things. I took my 9-year-old daughter and 2 of her friends to the paint splatter room. Booking a time was easy, and we greeted immediately when we arrived. We did 20 minutes, and it was more than enough for the girls to have a blast. The price was fair and worth the penny for the laughs, and we smiled, and smiles we left with. My cousin and I are very young 50-year-olds. The place is great. There's nothing quite like breaking vases, dinner, drinkware, electronics, and windshields on purpose. Go get your aggression out or just giggle. We had a blast the whole time. Oh my God, this was the best stress reliever ever. So much fun. My friend and I went to relieve some much needed stress and found this place through a friend. These guys are super nice and helpful and make sure all things have fun. Make sure all things have a good time and have fun. 10 out of 10 recommended. I mean, you're 70-year-olds, tweens, kids, everyone across the spectrum is having a great time here. And this is a little bit of it. How do you handle, the customer feedback? It's, obviously it's majority. I could not find one negative review. I'm sure one of them is coming now that I say that, unfortunately. But how are you handling the positive, feedback from the community?
Well, I don't know if your people watching can see me. I'm blushing. So I wish I could take credit for a lot of those reviews. A lot of that is Bob handles a lot of that. I mean, a lot of that's Bob. Bob is who they see. So it's great to hear. We respond to every review. So we don't just let you review and then we just let it be. No, we reach out, we'll respond, and typically Bob remembers the person leaving the review, so we make it personal. I mean, it's about relationships. So we try to make everyone, I know it's cliche, no. We try to make sure everybody who comes in our doors is having a unique experience to them and having fun. So there's not one person that we're like, you know what, they're just a number. No. What can we do to make this more fun? When we greet someone to come in the door, you mentioned the speaker, which is my favorite thing.
Right.
That's that makes me happy, because when people come in the door and I greet them and we're getting ready to suit up for the Smash session,
right,
I look them in the eye and I say, okay, who's got the music? And oftentimes you'll see them light up because they didn't know that they can play music. So they're like, what? I was like, I'm going to hook you up to a speaker in there. You got a few minutes, get a playlist ready,
right,
play some rage music, and they just fall in love. You see that glow, you know what I mean? So for me, that's probably my favorite thing is I love telling them there's a speaker.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I make a joke, I don't wear any Justin Bieber, any Taylor Swift. Otherwise, go play whatever you want, play some heavy metal, some 90s rap. But if I hear Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber in a rage room,
it's coming on.
I might rage. Yeah.
So you personalize the experience for them, and that automatically, you're invested in the experience for your clients.
100%. Sometimes in the booking system, they'll say, "Hey, can I do this? Can I do that?" And we reach out immediately. Right. We'll tell people, "Oh yes, no. Email us a picture, and we'll print them out. We'll have it ready for you." So we try to prep the rooms before the customer comes in.
That's huge.
If they put in any notes, we want you to put some notes. If you book, anyone watching, if you book, put a note in your booking, any special requests. And a few times a week, we'll have somebody, can you do this? Can I play this? Can I bring my own stuff? We have people bringing stuff from home. You want to clean out your garage and bring some breakables? Bring them. Clean out your garage. We'll clean it up after you destroy it.
Right.
But whatever we can do to make you have a good time.
So crazy. So crazy. What has this experience in such a short time taught you about yourself?
Oh man, I think it's taught me that I can, through hard work, I can pretty much do anything. I feel invincible sometimes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah, it's very-
when you can tackle these daily obstacles.
Yes.
Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Of
course
it's
not.
However, the juice is definitely worth the squeeze. So I've learned that through hard work. If I'm not willing to get my hands dirty. There's not a job in here I'm not willing to do. I can do front end and take care of the customer, but I also can grab a broom and a shovel and clean a room if I have to.
I love that.
I can unload a truck. I don't have a problem doing those things.
Yeah.
So hard work, and then probably from my 2 weeks in the Boy Scouts when I was a kid, always be prepared.
Right.
Right, so I'm always trying to learn new ways to do things. I'm always prepared for what I've got to tackle. I've got a to-do list that I got to go through every day. I'm always have tasks I want to accomplish. You got to stay motivated. Probably learn that I'm not afraid to work and get my hands dirty.
What a difference a few years makes. I know you were